It was once the largest empire on Earth, stretching from the icy coasts of the Arctic Ocean to the warm waters of the Black Sea. From Europe to Asia, the Russian Empire was a giant, an ancient machine powered by tradition, fear, and royalty. At its center sat one man, Tsar Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia. He was born into power, crowned by blood, and surrounded by unimaginable wealth. But Nicholas was not prepared to rule a nation spiraling into chaos. He believed he had been chosen by God. He saw democracy as a threat, not a tool. And when the cries of the people grew louder, Nicholas turned away. In the streets, hunger gripped the cities. In the fields, peasants toiled for land they didn't own. Workers organized strikes. Intellectuals whispered about revolution. And beneath it all, the empire trembled. By the early 1900s, Russia was a pressure cooker, and Nicholas II just tightened the lid. Then came the war. World War I was a disaster for Russia. Over 3 million soldiers were killed or wounded. Supplies ran out. Morale collapsed. And the Tsar? He left the capital to lead the army himself, leaving his wife, Empress Alexandra, in charge. But Alexandra was deeply unpopular. She was German-born. She trusted only one man, a mystic monk named Rasputin. To many Russians, this was unforgivable. A holy man with dirty hands, Rasputin became the shadow ruler of the empire. His influence grew as his enemies died mysteriously, some poisoned, some shot. The royal family's reputation crumbled. By 1917, Russia was no longer just angry. It was furious. In March of that year, the people had enough. A revolution erupted in Petrograd, now called St. Petersburg. Soldiers mutinied. Crowds stormed the streets. Factories shut down. The empire was out of control. Faced with no support from the military or the government, Tsar Nicholas had no choice. He stepped down. The Romanov dynasty, after more than 300 years, was over. But Nicholas didn't flee. He believed the people still loved him. He thought the storm would pass. He was wrong. As the empire shattered and the revolutionaries seized power, the former emperor and his family were placed under house arrest. First in a palace, then in a remote estate, then in the house of special purpose. The sun had set on the Russian Empire, but for the Romanovs, the darkest night was still to come.